In sociology, we see the family as a building block for the foundation of the social world. In this presentation, I will be talking about the family and partner violence as it pertains to the United States specifically. In this, I will be defining partner violence. Partner violence from 1950s to today will be discussed, as well as partner violence in the place of religious households. And I will be diving a little bit deeper into the construct that is the family in the United States. Lastly, I will touch on social change and partner, and if religion is a positive avenue for change within the social world in altering the social issue for the better. When looking at the term for partner violence, I will be defining it as such. Partner violence is the use of physical, mental, emotional, or psychological harm on another party. In the house, we will be focusing on the parents and how that greatly affects the socialization of the offspring in the home and how it greatly affects and alters the structure of the socialized family. It is when looking at the family that we understand that it is a building block and a precursor for the larger society as a whole. The socialized family is used as a way to set the ground for the offspring to understand morals, values, and principles that are largely related to the overall community and the greater society. This is not to say that these principles will not at some point be adhered to or neglected. It is to say, however, that the family is responsible for teaching moral code, moral responsibility, and to give an idea to their offspring what socialization looks like. That said, no individual is completely socialized. I argue this because parents are constantly learning and adapting to society as well as their offspring. It's just on the parents' behalf that the offspring learn better what social behavior and social norms look like. As I actually said, one of the consequences of group identification is an internalization of the group's view on societal realities. This is to say that the group's mentalities as a whole, whether it's macro or micro, might greatly alter the presentation of facts, rules, norms, and values that the society holds. If there is a conflict between interest groups, the group with the more power and authority to speak will dominate the ring. From the 1950s to present day, there have been constant issues that have erupted in the home that make this relevant. The issue is that partners take actions against one another because of conflict. As if we look at conflict theory, conflict is evident wherever there are two or more gathered. And this breeds complications when developing a societal system as basic as the social life. That the family is not always going to be structured the same across the board, but the idea of the family is still evident. It is a place of nurturing and growth to develop minds and bodies to be socially positive actors. On the slide for the 1950s to today, you will be able to see engage the information as to what has changed over time and also better understand the implications of social change as it pertains to the social issue of partner violence. It is astounding how over the years partner violence can at one point be low and then later escalate to high numbers due to what's happening economically, socially, and politically in the arena and spheres around the world. Looking at the United States as a whole, one of the largest religious bodies of people, you also see a lot of change and conflict within the religious sectors. This becomes an issue because, as Ferris and Stein say, rarely does our perspective allow us to recognize the strangeness in our own culture, which is part of where conflicts stem from. These conflicts arise because there is no sameness, and that's not what's necessary. What's necessary is understanding. And when social bodies do not understand, conflict theory dictates that there will be either minor or major conflicts which put individuals, groups, and bodies at odds against each other. This, however, bleeds into social change, which is brought by conflict theory. Social change requires us to understand that for change to occur, there has to be give and take, ebb and flow. With that, we understand that at the end of the day, socialized bodies, regardless of background, race, ethnicity, gender, even religion, will work together to bring back a return to normalcy after initiating these conflicts. As we look at conflict and as we look at the resolution for these issues, we understand better that a group identity does help in producing social normalcy. If we look at religion and a Christian worldview, as we can examine as an example, shows greatly how bodies will come together to support one another. It's the whole emotional effervescence. This reassures us that socially, if we find commonplace, common ground, we as a people can have a positive impact and a positive change in society and societal structures.